Race number 8's a Class 4 event. Quite an even field, but there's a few with some scope in it. It's over the 1,200 metres. Wood on Fire, top of the book. He's come up with a wide draw again, though. Zach Purton and Peter Ho, the combination. We've got Harmony Home on a 7-day backup. Gang of Brothers, first start for Pierre Ung. Triumphant returns first up for the season, as is Turin Warrior and Durham Star. Octo Connect, his only start in Hong Kong was on a yielding track, but he draws out barrier number 12 for Jack Wong. Colonel goes forward in his races. Cordyceps One's won his last two over the 1,650 metres. He resumes over the 1,200 metres here. And Nebula, first trip to Happy Valley, cheek pieces off, and the blinkers go on. He has won a trial, has Nebula. The speed map now. This should be an easy one, shouldn't it, Tom? Colonel, straight to the front from barrier 3.
Yeah, straight to the front, one would think. I thought Harmony Home would be a bit closer than he would have been last Wednesday night, but he actually got quite a bit further back than I had anticipated, and that was from barrier 2. He's come up with barrier 4 here. Nebula led all the way in a trial to win, Paul, and Gang of Brothers normally sits handy too.
Yeah, the big query is Wood on Fire. What they're going to do with Wood on Fire, because he's drawn 10. He went forward last start and sat outside the leader. There is a bit of pace underneath him with Gang of Brothers and Nebula. So there's options to go back. There's options to push on with Wood on Fire. So he was the big query horse. Octo Connect, he hasn't shown too much, and he's drawn wide. He's likely to go back. And Paul Triumphant Return's got a wide draw as well, so he'll probably drop back as well.
All right, well, we're going to hear now from the rider of Wood on Fire. Zach Purton's only had 2 rides on the horse for a win and a placing. He'll partner him again for the 3rd time on Wednesday night, and Nick had a chat to Zach this morning.
Zach, Wood on Fire is a horse that you've had a little association with, and you rode him at the back end of last season. Looks to be coming to this race in good form.
Yeah, he ran really, really well. He drew a wide gate and had to do a lot of work, and that just told in the end. And unfortunately, we're drawing another bad gate here, so it's not going to be easy for him again. But the horse is going well, and I'm sure he's going to be competitive.
What of his recent trial? He seemed to trial quite nicely, and just reading the comments, I'm not sure who writes them, but they said that the jockey and horse are a good combination.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure who writes them either, but hopefully he's right. But yeah, his trial was decent enough, so you know, I just need a little bit of luck, that's all.
From that wide draw, having gone back and looked at a few of his replays, he seems to be a very quick horse out of the gates. Is that sort of going to determine where you land? Because obviously he was a bit more prominent last time. Yeah,
he can be a little bit hit and miss. Sometimes he sort of tries to fly the gate and hits it and comes back as the gate's open, and he's then slow out. So you've got to be a little bit careful of him, but when he gets it right, he's certainly got a little bit of speed, but obviously the plan will be just to try and get him out as good as we can, and then see how the race is unfolding from there.
He's always been quite a good horse fresh, so I guess right time, right place, if you will, to get on him for...
Yeah, and Peter's horses are running well early in the season as well, so that always helps.
Talking of horses running well, horse has been running well underneath you. That was 3 on the weekend. Just give us a short overview of your weekend. Obviously, there were some nice horses there that you won on, notably Lucky With You, of course.
Yeah, he's a nice horse. He made hard work of it. He felt like he was going to win more comfortably than what he did. He sort of just lasted there in the end. The other horse was coming back strongly at him, but I think he's a horse that's going to be better suited around the corner than up the straight, and he's getting up in the ratings as well, so there mightn't be too much left there, but if you can get another one, then you know he's done a really good job. But it was nice to see him win. And
just finally, just a quick line on this morning. Beauty Joy, you trialled in the first. Were you pleased with him? Obviously he created such an impression last season.
Yeah, we thought he was back at the races again, didn't he? He was slow out the gate and didn't want to take part early, but the pleasing part was that he wanted to be competitive in the straight. I didn't ask him for anything. He grabbed the bit and wanted to chase the other horses himself. So I like that, and you know, as long as he can keep his head down and race tractably through the middle stages of the races, he's going to give himself a chance wherever he goes, and he'll have another trial and then run in the 1600 first up. From there, I think he goes to the Sarsar, and then they'll assess whether he runs in the mile or the 2000 after that.
It was a very, very good trial from Beauty Joy, but the first trial we saw, Paul, which was Wood on Fire, you spied one in behind. Yeah,
I like the Turin Warriors trial. He finished right alongside Wood on Fire in that particular trial, and look, the horse sort of came right towards the back end of last season. He arrived in a rating of 63. I think he's down a winnable rating of 53 now.
All right, he's out of the Richard Gibson stable is Turin Warrior. We move on, Tom, to Jumbo Legend 5th and Durham Star. He was disappointing last time, didn't show any sort of late dash.
No, and he was beaten favourite there as well behind Hero Star. He was sort of midfield. He boxed on just fairly there. I didn't mind the barrier trial here. Now, I know it says he's put on 30 pounds on the scales over the off-season, but just like the way he attacked the line here over the concluding stages to win it. So that's quadruple double there in the trial as well. Prime Minister going around one of our earlier races. Jumbo Legend, he ran on a bit late there too.
Yeah, didn't mind Jumbo Legend's trial. He was the jockey was high in the saddle at the end as well, so just under his own steam.
It was tailor-made to his inside, who was placed on the weekend also. 7 nights ago, fast back up for Harmony and Home here, Paul. First time he's done it.
This is what Tom was talking about. Look, I expected him to be a little bit closer. He was really well back in the race. He stayed on nicely. He will be fitter for this run. Will Harmony and Home. I think he'll be a little bit closer in the run from barrier number 4, but look, I didn't quite get him in.
No, I've left him out this week as well. Blanket finished there. I thought again he would be closer and he just whacked away fairly.
King of Brothers, Tom has placed 3 of 4 course and distance, now with Pierre and no trials.
No trials, but he's managed to take 24 pounds off him. He was just off the pace tried hard, I thought, over the concluding stages there. He looked like he was certainly going to challenge and then he just tired late there. Vincent Ho picks up the ride. I've got him in, Paul. I think he can run a race here.
Yeah, I agree. I've got him in as well. Look, he's been placed numerous times at Happy Valley, and as you say, he looks quite fit.
Nothing wrong with this horse's form when we last saw him, Paul. Cordyceps won, but both wins were over the 1650.
Yeah, that's the query, and I think this might be a stepping stone at 1200. Now, we did run third over 1200 at the back end of at the start of last season, so look, he is capable over the 1200, but the way he's been winning, I'd prefer to see him over a bit longer.
Yeah, course and distance, 6 starts, no wins, no seconds, but a couple of thirds and a fourth, so he has been there or thereabouts. I think he'll take improvement for sure.
Triumphant return, Tom. You had him in 1 or 2 times last season and went very close at 29-1 last time. Now, this trial is behind California Spangle.
And he's been tearing around up at the tracks as California Spangle up in Chung Fa. You can see there, nothing really too much to work on here with Triumphant Return, but he chased well enough, I thought. It was a good enough trial. The draw is the main concern, but it's sort of the odds in a race I thought was open, Paul, might be worth throwing him in.
Yeah, look, that was just what put me off, was the draw for him.
Frankie Law, of course, last season's champion trainer, Paul, on the board with Bebe Choi on the weekend. He's only got the 5 runners, but there's a few chances amongst them.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those. I've got 3 of those on top. I like Farfar, I like My Aesthetic, I like that. I think all 3 of them are really good chances, and Jade Phoenix is not without a chance in the first.
Can't argue, I've got them all in as well. Jade Phoenix in an open race in the first race. My Aesthetics, I think, have been looking good coming into this, and of course Farfar there as well.
Need to go back to the trials, Tom, for one more replay, and MM Nebula is the horse. Now, he did all of his racing last time in over at Sha Tin. He'll go around Happy Valley for the first time on the back of a very strong trial.
Yeah, with the blinkers on as well here for MM Nebula. He got out to the lead and seemed to win this quite easily. Now, last start he missed the start a little bit. That was a poor effort behind peak to peak, but couldn't help but like the trial. Comes to Happy Valley for the first time.
Yeah, I think he's a horse that his running style should suit Happy Valley as well. The blinkers will go on for the first time. Barrier number 1. So there's a few positives with him. I snuck him in, actually.
Matthew Poon takes a couple of pounds off as well, but Turin Warrior on top.
Yeah, I'm going to make this each-way play. Turin Warrior should get an each-way price with Turin Warrior. His best run was the back end of last season, and his dropped 10 rating points since he's been here. A Gang of Brothers has been consistent around Happy Valley. So one of the races in particular last season he probably should have won. MM Nebula from barrier number 1. And Jumbo Legend was a nice easy trial leading into this. 5, 3, 11 and 9.
It's an open race, the last race, so looking for something at some value in this. And I'll go Triumphant Return. He's going to need a lot of things to go his way from barrier number 11, but certainly showed what he is capable of at Happy Valley over 1,200 metres behind Compassion Super. Nothing wrong with the trial up at Chung Fa. Wood on Fire also has to overcome a wide draw. Gang of Brothers looks fit enough to run a race first up. And Jumbo Legend, the other one that makes it. And he's put on weight. Joe Moreira, Casper Founds. Last start was 5th over 1,000 metres behind the Super Axiom. So 4, 1, 3 and 9.